If you don't know, now you know. You better get yourself in the flow. And if you don't think that you can, you better find Rob Rant. The Rob Rant Show. The Rob Rant Show. And if you don't know, now you know. The Rob Rant Show. The Rob Rant Show. And if you don't know, now you know.
This is Rob Bell. And this is Rob Rant. I've been telling y'all about this whole issue of violence for the last several weeks. And I'm on this campaign to try to eradicate it as much as I can, especially down here and up in my hometown, Philadelphia. And one of the things that I've always talked about is the fact that at some point, people are going to start paying attention to this because violence is going to hit your doorstep. But guess what? It hit my doorstep yesterday. Look at my lip. I got attacked by a homeless crackhead yesterday in downtown Atlanta just because I was trying to perform my duties and tell him to get out of the middle of the street. And so he felt like he had the right to attack me. It's crazy. We engaged. I fell, stumbled back, hit the ground, hit my head. He ran. They captured him. He got arrested. I went to the hospital. All that in a matter of 15 or 20 minutes. It was embarrassing. In all my years of law enforcement, it was difficult for me to go through something like that of late because I didn't have the same type of powers. Well, I don't have the same type of powers that I have now that I did then. Back then I had a handgun. I had pepper spray. I had baton. I had handcuffs. I had the powers of arrest. I don't have any of those things now. Oh, I do have pepper spray. I do have a baton. But I have to be very careful in terms of how I administer it because people are now videotaping you and, it's going to be said, well, Rob Bell's out there beating up the homeless. Well, I got a right to defend myself and I certainly do know that. And in that situation, maybe or maybe not, that may have been said. I don't know. But in any event, I got attacked because the government, local government, is allowing these homeless people to roam the streets aimlessly, digging out of trash cans, sleeping in the middle of the street, harassing people, panhandling, and not doing a damn thing about it. We move them from one space to another. And it creates a really bad situation for us. A person that's smoking crack is dangerous in and of itself. And when you combine mental health with it, that's a real dangerous person. And I would say 85% of the people out here have mental health issues. And it's something that we have to deal with. My colleagues wanted to kill him. My friends were upset. My wife was terrified. But it goes with the territory. People will say to me, hey, Rob, when you took the job, you knew it was dangerous. And yeah, I did. You're right. When I took the job as a police officer, I knew it was dangerous. It is inherently going to put me in situations like that. And I have to rely on my training and my wits and my street bravado to keep me safe. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it works. Sometimes it doesn't. He caught me good with a sucker punch. And I don't think I deserve that. I'm a public servant. I wear a uniform. I'm visible. And all I am doing is out there trying to protect you so that you can come to work and feel safe. Sit behind your office and play on your computer and have lunch and, have fun with your friends while I'm out there riding around in my mule, perusing the streets, getting these creeps, I call them creeps, off the street because, no one wants to back me up. There's nowhere for these people to go. Oh yeah, there's shelters out there, but most of them are full. And in more cases than not, they don't even want to go to the shelters because they're unsafe. And so, what do? We play cat and mouse with these people every day. And I often say in my roll calls in the morning, be careful, guys. Got a whole set of new mental health folks out there. Keep your head on a swivel, because if you don't, somebody's going to get hurt. And guess what? I was that somebody yesterday. In the last month, 3 of my colleagues have been attacked by 3 different homeless people. And this homeless guy that attacked me happens to be somebody that I know, I deal with on a daily basis. I felt comfortable with him, and obviously I felt too comfortable because he attacked me yesterday. And obviously I don't appreciate that. It's not going to deter me from going back out there. I will go back to work when it's time for me to go, but I will be extra cautious and not be as relaxed as I was the other day. Sometimes I let my bravado get in the way. When I first became a police officer, I was 22 years old. I'm 64 now, and I certainly don't have the reflexes and the cat-like skills that I used to have when I was a young buck. So I have to use my verbal judo to get over it. Verbal judo is our ability as public safety officers to talk our way in and out of situations and hopefully do well with that. The issue, though, is the continuing violence that are occurring in our city. We always often think about the homicides and the handguns. We very rarely talk about the domestic violence. We very rarely talk about the mental health issues that people have, and they bring that to the table, and they're out there hurting people on a daily basis. Those are the incidents that we very rarely hear about. I got hurt yesterday over a mental health and drug issue, which contributes to the violence that's occurring out in the street. We have to do something. We have to come together as a group and as groups to try to come up with some formulas to deter the violence out here. We got to stop these young people from carrying these handguns. We got to corral these homeless people out in the street and put them into situations where they feel safe and not have to use drugs and eat out of trash cans and feel threatened by people like myself. And until we come up with these solutions, I'm going to continue to put myself, as well as my colleagues, in harm's way. And it's a sad state of affairs where I can't even go to work and feel safe. Let's get it together, people. This is Rob Bell. And I can't even say Rob's Rant because my lip is all puffed out. I'll see you next time.